Good afternoon. I'm Mark Ramey, Chairman of the Marion County Board of Supervisors. I'm joined this afternoon by Marion County Treasurer Michaela Bigaouette. Michaela, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
We've had a couple of Marion County updates where we talked with our assessor, Kelly Kingery, and last week we talked with Jake Randia, Marion County Auditor, regarding property taxes. So the third piece of the property tax puzzle within Marion County resides with Marion County Treasurer's Office, Michaela. So you brought out some help,
Yes.
some aids for us to look at as we talk about this, your role regarding property tax. Your office is collections. After the assessor does their job and Jake does their job and budgets are set, then it comes to the treasurer's office from a collections aspect. So let's talk about the tax, the assessment form that people get from the treasurer's office, and walk us through some of the key points that you see in that, Michaela.
Sure. So yes, I always tell people that when it comes to taxes, I'm actually the last guy to the party. Everything that goes into compiling your tax statement happens long before it ever reaches my office. Every July, Jake and Kelly and I work very hard to get taxes certified, pull all that information together so that we can send these out sometime by the middle of August. Today, I have actually brought my own tax statement with me, which I can assure everyone went up this year, as they all did. So, but a few things that I want to point out that are really important that we notice as we take phone calls from folks in our office is, number one, the mailing address. We have almost 26,000 parcels in Marion County. Obviously, some of those have common ownership, so we bundle those when we mail them out. But for every tax statement that we get back, we work very hard to try and find an alternate address to mail that out again. That's an expense. So anytime you can make sure that your tax statement is going to the right address, we really, really appreciate that. So up here in this corner is a description of the parcel that's being taxed. That's very important, particularly if you have multiple parcels for reference. Here is an informational blurb that we try to put every year about if your taxes are paid by your bank in escrow. This is just for your information only. We do not send a copy of this statement to your bank or mortgage company.
Okay.
Property taxes are public record. They're able to go out and obtain that information electronically from various sites, and they all do a very good job of doing that.
Okay.
So we get a lot of calls as soon as statements go out. Did my bank pay my taxes? No.
Okay.
They don't pay until the last minute. Usually about the 20th of September is when we start getting those escrow payments. Again, public record, you can go to the Beacon website and you can pull that information up and see if your taxes have been paid periodically throughout the month.
Okay. That's great. That's great information.
Yeah. So this middle part is the part I think that is most important to most people, because that's got what do I owe this year, and you have a comparison with what you owe last year. We've gotten a lot of calls this year, people wanting us to look at their tax statement. Is this correct? Did it really go up? One thing that we've noticed is we've kind of counseled people is that a lot of residents are missing that homestead credit on their tax statement. If you've purchased a property within the last couple of years, you may have had previously the previous owner's homestead credit on your statement. So that makes you think, oh, I have that. You may not. You need to check with the assessor's office. Make sure that you filed for that homestead credit, because that helps. Same with business property tax credit, military exemption, disabled veteran credit. All of those will show on here. So that's important information to check. Down below we have the coupons. You're going to tear this bottom stub off for your September payment, and then your March installment, you're going to tear this number 2 stub off when you submit that. Helps us a lot when you do that. We've got all the information that we need to pay your property taxes, especially if you're submitting for multiple parcels. Another really important part is this receipt number right here. If people pay online at our website, iowatreasurers.org, you need this receipt number.
Okay.
So we turn it over, and on the back, again, really, really important information that sometimes kind of gets lost in the shuffle. This is a breakdown of where your tax dollars are going. You have this year, you have last year, you have a percentage of change. We definitely recommend that folks review that information.
I know from a board of supervisors perspective, Michaela, when we get questions on property taxes, people think, well, because I'm coming to the treasurer's office to pay my property taxes, this is all going to Marion County, but that is not the case.
Correct. No, actually, it's a pretty intricate process every month that we go through at month end. My deputy treasurer and I have a series of steps and a lot of cross checks that we go through. It's really important that we do it correctly, number one, and it's really important that we do it honestly to make sure that we apportion all of that money out to the different taxing agencies.
Right.
So
if you as a resident want to know where your tax dollars are going, the back of the sheet that you receive is where you can see those splits and see which entities they have taxing authority and where those dollars go. And your office collects all of that and then distributes it out to all those different agencies.
yes.
Okay, very good, very good. And then Michaela, on the back, we've got, there's different things here, homestead credit, how to apply, those types of things on the back of the form, correct?
Correct, yep. And again, I encourage everyone to read through this. We won't go through each bullet point. I will point out the elderly credit. We get a lot of calls after tax statements go out. I'm over 65. Do you have anything that can help me? Well, we sure do. If your income falls below, your household income falls below $23,810, there's an elderly credit form that can be applied through.
Okay.
Applied for, it comes out from the Department of Revenue every February. It's due to our office by June 1st. That's an important date to know. Again, once these come out, it's after June 1st. So, call our office, get on the list for elderly credit. We'll send you one in February.
Okay, that's great to know. Great information, Michaela. Thank you. If people are wanting to pay, they're not in escrow, and they want some options. What are their options? They have to come and write you a check right now for the full amount, or are there other things that people can do?
Yep, absolutely. You can pay your September payment as long as it's in our office by the end of September. You're not delinquent. You can pay the full year. You can pay both installments. As long as we have that March installment by the end of March, no interest will be assessed. But I think it's really important that this year our web vendor has come out with a new product that allows us to accept scheduled payments. I was surprised when I started in this office by how many people are not set up in escrow. I assumed everybody was,
right.
Since I always was, and that's not the case. There are a lot of people that have paid their houses off, that have multiple properties, rental properties, or just their banks or mortgage company just simply doesn't offer that product. So we try and help people budget for that. We've already had several people signing up for that. They really like it. I tell people, call our office, we'll walk you through it, we'll help you get set up with a payment schedule that works for you.
Excellent. Can people do that right now for this tax season?
They can. It's a little tricky right now because you have to have that September payment paid by the end of September.
Okay.
But once we get you set up on those scheduled payments, you can continue that throughout the year. So even after the month of March, you're continuing to make, say, that $150 a month payment. So then next year when your September statement comes out, right here, there's a section that says prepaid tax. You'll see you've already maybe paid ahead $600. So that has now reduced what's due by the end of September, which really relieves a lot of stress for people.
Excellent, excellent. So if people want to know about this, call your office.
Correct.
Talk to you, talk to your deputy treasurer.
Yep, talk to myself or Kristen McCombs. You can go out to the website and explore yourself, iowatreasurers.org, iowatreasurers.org, and a lot of people have had success with it. So you can make your online payments there. We do have a drop box at our temporary location at East Elementary, 614 East Washington. We are still there. I assume we will be back in the courthouse for the March payment.
That's the goal.
Okay. If you want to mail your payment, mail it to the courthouse. They'll forward it to us at East 214 East Main Street. or you can pay over the phone by credit card for a 2.25% fee.
Very good. Michaela, thank you. I think that when we think about Kelly's role, Jake's role, your role, I think we have a pretty complete picture now, at least at a high level, of the property tax process within Marion County. Again, if you have questions about property taxes, don't hesitate to contact the Board of Supervisors. Don't hesitate to contact our assessor, Michaela, or Jake, and ask those questions, and we'll get information to you depending on the question and who's most appropriate to answer that inquiry that you have. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, Michaela. Thank you for your time. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week with another update. Thank you.